Tornadoes. This map shows tornado activity of F3, F4, F5 tornadoes from 1950 to 1998. When cold Canadian air meets warm and wet Gulf of Mexico air, the results are volatile. Do you live in any of the areas represented on the map? Tornadoes in severe weather. Tornadoes most often occur in spring or fall when the cold and warm air masses are in transition. Not only are tornadoes dangerous, but severe thunderstorms and accompanying high winds cause damage to life, limb, and property. Do you know the safest place to be? On 4/27/11, over 200 people were killed and hundreds injured in severe weather across the southern United States. Free tip: if possible, always take cover in the northeast corner of your house or apartment. Tsunami. A tsunami can affect a whole region, not just one country. Even if someone lives inland, they will feel the effects through reduced commodities. Tsunamis can be caused from earthquakes, volcanoes, and even meteors and asteroids. We have all seen the destruction inflicted upon Japan, but only because of advanced warning, years of drills, and preparedness, casualties were kept to a relative minimum. Hazardous material release. This map shows the number of facilities in states with toxic or flammable materials located near communities of at least 1 million people. Hazardous material release. Many chemicals produced in the United States are fatal if ingested or breathed in minute quantities. If fail-safes went down and chemicals or toxins were released into the air or water, surrounding areas could become uninhabitable. Most recently, Japan's nuclear reactors in Fukushima are failing due to lack of cooling and catastrophic damage. Experts are predicting some areas will become uninhabitable. Winter storms. What happens when a severe winter storm knocks out your power for weeks and roads are impassable for the first few days? Do you have a way to stay warm? Do you have adequate food, water, and supplies? Free tip: acquire a small generator that can power the necessities in your home. Acts of extremists. Acts of terrorism have increased 75% since 2001. Still, you are more likely to win the Powerball twice in a row than being the victim of a terrorist attack. As the world becomes more unstable and resources become more scarce, acts of terrorism will only increase as people fight for survival, resources, and against perceived repression. Epidemic or pandemic. Over 75 million people died between 1918 and 1920 during the Spanish flu pandemic. As viruses and bacteria become more resilient and adapt to our modern drugs, the more chances there are for a superbug like MRSA to emerge and wreak havoc on our populations. We don't have drugs to cure everything. For example, HIV/AIDS has killed over 25 million people, and viruses like Ebola virus currently have no cure and have high fatality rates. Free tip: consider wearing a face mask if you are sick with the flu and think you might have close contact with other people, you live with someone who has the flu and need to be in a crowded place, limit the amount of time you spend in these crowded places and wear a face mask while you are there. You are well and do not expect to be in close contact with a sick person, but need to be in a crowded place. Limit the amount of time you spend in these crowded places and wear a face mask while you are there.